Hello everybody. So I did this big huge video on the IS300 2JZ maintenance stuff where I changed a load of stuff to do with the engine. I didn't show me doing the gearbox oil, transmission oil, if you're American. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how to do that today. It's really easy actually. It's pretty much exactly the same as doing the engine oil, except that when you check the levels you have to do it while the engine is running and warmed up. So I've already jacked the car up and we're just going to get underneath, going to drain it, fill it, and we're using this Toyota Type T4. I'll put a link down in the description. It's going to be obviously a UK link, so if you're American then you're going to have to get it from somewhere else, but just go to your local Toyota dealer and you should be able to get it. Alright, let's get on with it. Drain it, fill it, check it. That's it. That's all you have to do. So because my drive is on a slope, I've actually just got it level, so it points downwards here. So I've just got the car level so I can check the oil correctly. The location of the stick is just at the back of the engine here on the right, and it's got this little clip here that you just push to the side and then you can pull it out, and this is how we're going to check the oil. So as you can see, it's just actually right full there. You can see the reflection on the oil. It's on that second marker, so it needs to be hot oil, and it needs to be between those two markers there. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. There we go. So between those two markers there, and it's right on the second one here. So quite full, but black and dirty. So I'm going to change it. So we're going to turn the engine off, and I've already jacked the car up. And how I've done it is through the front subframe, and then I've put axle stands as well, so it's actually resting on the axle stands, but I've kept this in place, locked off, but slightly, just very slightly eased off the front subframe for safety, because you don't want to get under the car just relying on axle stands. I say this every time, but there's a reason for doing it. Just need you to be exceptionally safe. Anyway, gearbox is somewhere towards the front middle. Now we're going to drain the oil. I also like to just give the car a little push to make sure it's not going to come off and fall on my head. Okay, so it's a 14mm bolt. So we're just going to loosen this off if we can. And then I'm going to put this oil pan underneath, ready to catch it. Make sure you wear gloves because not good for your skin. And drain, my son. That's hot, by the way. So be careful when you take it out. Okay, so we're just going to let that drain, and then we'll come back and put the bolt back in with a new copper washer on it. Just going to clean this off a bit. It's pretty much drained now. I'll be here forever if I wait. It's been like 20 minutes. I've got a new 12 by 18 by 1.5mm copper washer here. It's not the perfect size, so you might want to get something a little bit better, but yeah, that's what I'm using. It'll do. And then just gonna screw this in. Ah, forgot the torque wrench. Okay. So you want to torque this to 20 Newton meters or 15 pounds-foot for my American brothers. And there we go. Now we're going to go and check in the manual, see how much oil we need to put in. Here's the old washer. Yep. So every time you undo a drain bolt and you put it back in, always put a new washer in. Copper ones are good, they're super cheap. Let's get them from Amazon. Anyway, make sure you dispose of your oil in an environmentally friendly manner. And don't let it spill on the driveway like I did. That's exactly what I've done. And now I'm going to have to clean it up. So I've had a look through this whole book. All I can find is engine oil stuff, so yeah, it's pretty useless. I'm going to weigh it. I'm going to weigh how much I took out and put the same back in. That's the best way I can. I've looked online as well, but yeah, I can't. People are saying 2 litres, some other people are saying 4 litres, so, I mean, sorry, 2 or 2.4. So, yeah, I'm just going to weigh this. Let's weigh it, see what it weighs. Okay, so, as you'd think as an engineer student, I would know this. But 1 litre of oil isn't equal to 1 kilogram of oil. Because of density. So, yeah, basically we can't weigh it, so I'm just gonna fill this empty thing up. It's only because I didn't have anything to measure it with volume wise, so I'm gonna fill this up and then we'll see how much volume it has. So stupid. Lesson learned. Okay, so that's up to 1.5 litres, so I'm going to pour that back into the big oil pan, and then pour the rest in, and then add them together. Alright, so the second half is just over 1 litre, so we're going to put 2.5 litres of this new stuff in, and then we'll see how we are. And this new one is a 5 litre, and that's all I've got as well, so hopefully I can do 2 out of this. Badly stinks. Right, I hope this doesn't go everywhere. Because the entry is so small, you need to put it in really slowly, otherwise it'll overflow. So, as I've just said, put this in really slowly because that's an incredibly thin neck that the oil runs down to get to the transmission. It will overflow, so just be careful. Also, I did look everywhere online to find out whether I needed the car running or not to add the oil in. I decided not to run the car, so I added all of the oil and then just let it warm up after. You know, at your own risk, you can choose to run it. I chose not to, and mine, it didn't explode, so bonus. I just realised here, it looks like I've paused the video, but it's just, I'm so still. I'm pouring it in so slowly. You can see it closely, look closely, you can see the oil pouring in. I look like a statue. He finally moves. He's alive! Okay, alright, let's get back to it. When you start it up, just have it in park mode. Alright, so I've just took the stick back out and wiped it, and then I'm going to dip it back in, pull it back out, and then we'll check the level. So as you can see, it's a little bit low. It's supposed to be between these 2 markers, and it's only here. So I'm going to put a little bit more in. Okay, car's running, and I'm just going to take it for a quick spin, and then I'm going to check the oil level on some actual level ground instead of trying to emulate it. So the camera was sitting on the engine and it ruined the audio. So you can see here that, well, you can't see here, unfortunately, but it is between those 2 marks. It's really hard to see on camera. You might be able to see it from the reflections there. The whole reason I'm doing this in the first place is because it's a little bit clunky, changing particularly between gears 2 and 3. And sometimes as well when changing from 4th down to 3rd. So I'm hoping this is going to fix it. It's not a full drain. Please understand that. Like, I'm going to do this probably 2, maybe 3 times because a lot of the oil is held in the torque converter, I believe. Right, so that is it. Car runs a lot smoother. It's definitely noticeable, but I'm going to do this change again in like a month, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I'll see what happens, but I just want to get as much of the old oil out as possible. This isn't a full flush like I said before, but it's definitely better than just leaving it, because that clunking sound was getting worse and worse. Usually in manual mode, but also a little bit in auto as well. I'm sorry I couldn't show you a manual version of this, but the automatics are the only ones that were available in the UK and Europe, so I had no choice but to buy an automatic when I got one. But it will get a manual at some point, either a CD009 or a sequential down the line. I've kind of gone off the R154 a little bit because it's a 5-speed, and I've heard they're a little bit weak, and the CD009s are a lot stronger, and they're 6-speed, so yeah, a sequential will be the best though, obviously. Anyway, yeah, that's it for the video. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. There's a lot more to come, and yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well. I'll leave a link somewhere here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm weird. I just love tidying up. Not.